Hi, my name is Melissa DeWitt, and I'll be presenting an influencer strategy centered on Ethel Kane, not just as a musician, but as a cultural universe. This pitch explores how the right creators across music, fashion, literature, and visual storytelling can translate her world into new spaces, expanding her reach through authentic, narrative driven content. This campaign reimagines what it means for an independent artist to break into culture. Instead of traditional promotion, we use interpretation, inviting creators to translate Ethel Kane's music through their own mediums. The goal is to bring her world into new communities, turning listeners into collaborators, participants, and storytellers inside her narrative. Our key objectives focus on sustainable cultural impact. First, expanding beyond her core indie audience. Second, generating deep emotional engagement and fan created content. Third, building long term presence across multiple creative spaces. And finally, increasing streaming and platform engagement through organic discovery rather than standard advertising. The power of this campaign lies in understanding who Ethel Kane resonates with. Her audience spans from Gen Z and millennials to queer communities to people navigating religious or even familiar trauma, and fans of conceptual or literary music. Behaviorally, they value vulnerability, aesthetics, and collaborative storytelling. We're not just finding an audience, we're awakening a congregation of people who already feel connected to her world. Our strategy is built on translation, not promotion. Each creator interprets her music through their own lens, whether through style, travel vlogs, literary analysis, or atmospheric visuals. Instead of selling a product, influencers become narrators inside the Ethel King universe, making the audience feel like they're discovering a story rather than consuming an ad. To accomplish this, we focus on four pillars. First, cross community reach, expanding into fashion, book talk, queer culture, cinematic travel. Second, giving creators full creative freedom. Third, crafting narrative driven content that feels like storytelling. And finally, keeping the visual identity consistent using sepia tones, Southern Gothic motifs, and analog cinema aesthetics. Terry and Kania are ideal partners because of their emotionally expressive reaction format. A first listen to Preacher's Daughter or tracks like A House in Nebraska captures the raw vulnerability Ethel Kane is known for. Their 5 million plus audience spans multiple genres, making them a perfect ambassador to translate the emotional weight of Ethel Kane's music. Chiara Firigani brings global visibility. With her Get Ready With Me storytelling style, she can transform Ethel's Southern Gothic aesthetic into a high fashion moment, using the song A House in Nebraska as a soundtrack and framing the look as her own narrative deepens the immersion and introduces Ethel Kane to millions of fashion centric followers who may not have discovered her otherwise. Crime by the Book positions Preacher's Daughter as narrative art. Framing the album like a Southern Gothic novel highlights the storytelling, characters, and dark emotional arc, including themes of crime and trauma. This bridges the gap between literature lovers and conceptual music fans, expanding Ethel's cultural relevance. Movie Star's cinematic makeup and photo series work perfectly. They align with Ethel Kane's visual identity. A Freezer Bride concept inspired by the song Strangers becomes both a symbolic tribute and a visual entry point for new fans. Her audience is already drawn to Southern Gothic aesthetics, making this collaboration feel seamless and authentic. Jean and Shay offer a unique way to bring Ethel Kane's world into physical space. A Midwestern road trip to find the real house in Nebraska, paired with Americana landscapes and reflective narration, turns the album into a cinematic journey. This taps into van life viewers, travel lovers, and anyone drawn to moody atmosphere. Adore Delano adds emotional depth through queer storytelling, creating a drag transformation inspired by Preacher's Daughter, paired with a conversation between two trans artists, builds connection and representation. This collaboration invites Ethel Kane into one of the most expressive and loyal artistic communities online. Success in this campaign blends numbers with cultural resonance. We aim for increased engagement, reach, streaming, and playlist placements. Success looks like user generated art, edits, essays, and genuine community growth across platforms. We measure not just visibility, but emotional impact, the hallmark of true cultural movement. In conclusion, this strategy expands Ethel Kane's presence by meeting audiences in the creative spaces where they already feel, create, and connect. Though authentic storytelling and cross-community collaboration, we turn her music into a living narrative carried by creators, fans, and new audiences. Thank you so much for listening.